2024 saw remarkable comebacks from a diverse list of artists who redeemed themselves. In this video, we'll look at every successful comeback in 2024. Ariana Grande. Ariana Grande began her music career in the early 2010s after gaining prominence on Nickelodeon's Victorious. When she transitioned to music, she released her debut album Yours Truly in 2013. Over the years, she became a pop icon with a string of hits and successful albums. In 2024, after a brief hiatus, focusing on her role as Glinda in the Wicked movie, and 4 years after her last album Positions, she made a return to music with her 7th studio album Eternal Sunshine. She was going through a media firestorm at the beginning of the year, but the album became one of the best-selling of the year. The lead single Yes End debuted on number 1, but the follow-up We Can't Be Friends Wait For Your Love became the biggest hit from the album, accumulating more than 1.1 billion streams on Spotify after also debuting on number 1. Despite her busy filming schedule, Ariana delivered a solid album that brought her back to the top of the charts before she started promoting her very successful movie. Even though it wasn't her only focus, Ariana had a huge impact on pop music this year. Kanye West. Kanye, now known as Ye, emerged in the early 2000s with his debut album The College Dropout. He has been delivering innovative albums for decades, and his discography is unmatched in the history of music. However, in recent years, he has faced career-ending controversies, including public outbursts and unhinged interviews that divided his fan base and left him blackballed from the music industry. Many thought his music career was over. But in February 2024, he made a surprising return with his single Carnival, the lead single from his collab album Vultures 1. Released independently, the song managed to debut on number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100, which was unexpected because he had seemingly burned his bridges. The song's success was partly due to the cringy TikTok Riz Party. It has managed to get to 648 million streams on Spotify. It has also been nominated for Best Rap Song at the Grammys, re-establishing Kanye's presence in the music scene. He followed that up with the sequel Vultures 2, which was a commercial and critical failure, and in my opinion, his worst album. But still, he had a surprisingly good 2024. Hozier first gained international fame with his 2013 debut single Take Me to Church, which became a global hit, certified 13 times platinum in the US after peaking at number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100. Following his initial success, Hozier maintained a dedicated fan base but did not replicate the same level of mainstream prominence for over a decade. But in 2024, he made a remarkable comeback to the top of the charts with his single Too Sweet, released in March as part of his 5th EP Unheard. The song, blending soul and pop rock elements, debuted on number 5 on the Billboard Hot 100 and climbed to the top of the charts, making it his first number 1 hit. The song also achieved international success, now reaching 1.1 billion streams on Spotify. Hozier has had a decently successful career, but this year he came back to enjoy the mainstream success that has eluded him for over a decade. Bryson Tiller. Bryson Tiller first gained prominence with his 2015 debut album Trap Soul, featuring hits like Don't and Exchange. His unique blend of R&B and trap music coined the term for a new genre and gained him a fan base. However, following his 2017 album True to Self, his presence in the music scene diminished, and that made many people think he fell off. In 2024, he made a significant comeback when he released his single Whatever She Wants in the beginning of the year. The song became an instant hit, accumulating 327 million streams on Spotify, becoming his biggest song in years. He then released his self-titled album Bryson Tiller on April 5. The project did decent and was a return to form for him. Eminem. Eminem is a legend that has dominated rap for over 2 decades straight, rising to fame in the late 1990s. With albums like the Slim Shady LP and the Marshall Mathers LP, he became one of the best-selling artists in the world. Despite his success, he faced personal struggles, including battles with addiction and periods of hiatus. But he released albums consistently, maintaining his huge fan base. I mean, they were the original stans, so they will always ride with him. In 2024, Eminem surprised fans with the release of The Death of Slim Shady Coup de Grace, his 12th studio album. It was a concept album about ending his alter ego Slim Shady. It became hugely successful, selling 281,000 album equivalent units in the first week. The lead single Houdini also became a huge hit, peaking at number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100 and accumulating 518 million streams on Spotify. It was a triumphant comeback and farewell to one of the most influential artists of all time. Charli XCX. Charli XCX has been known for pushing the boundaries of pop music with her experimental sound. She first gained mainstream success with hits like Boom Clap and Fancy with Iggy Azalea, but she ventured into more experimental projects after that, earning critical acclaim but facing commercial challenges. In 2024, she released her 6th studio album Brat, which became a cultural phenomenon. The album managed to become one of the most talked about and best-selling albums of the year, moving more than 1 million units in the US since its release. The album's second single, 360, was particularly impactful, being nominated for Record of the Year at the Grammys. It was also one of the most critically acclaimed albums of the year, scoring 95 out of 100 on Metacritic. Charli's career was in a stable place in the underground, but after this year, she became a mainstream superstar. Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar has been an icon in hip-hop since his major label debut, Good Kid, Mad City, in 2012. He has built a legacy by dropping back-to-back perfect albums that made him one of the most critically acclaimed artists of all time. Following the disappointing reception of his heavy 2022 album, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, he took a brief hiatus from releasing new music. In 2024, he made a surprising return, coming out of nowhere with his feature on Metro Boomin and Futures Like That, kicking off the beef of the century. His flawless victory against Drake elevated his popularity, with the nailed in Drake's coffin, Not Like Us, becoming one of the biggest hits of the year, now sitting on close to 1 billion streams on Spotify. That led straight to his surprise album GNX, which has been a big success, spawning multiple hits like Squabble Up, Luther with SZA, and TV Off. He had a historic year, announcing he will perform at the Super Bowl halftime show, a stadium tour with SZA, and being nominated for multiple Grammys. Lady Gaga. Lady Gaga has been stepping away from music in recent years, but she made a significant impact in pop culture in 2024 with a series of high-profile projects and releases. In August 2024, she collaborated with Bruno Mars on the single Die With A Smile, which is one of the biggest hits of the year, now sitting on more than 1.2 billion streams on Spotify. It was a global hit, spending 8 weeks at the top of the Billboard Global 200. I have to mention here, Bruno Mars has also had a huge 2024. Following that, she released Disease, the lead single from her upcoming 8th studio album, on October 25, 2024. It didn't really do well, peaking at number 48 on the Billboard Hot 100. She also starred as Harley Quinn alongside Joaquin Phoenix in the musical thriller Joker Folie à Deux, the sequel to the 2019 film. While it received mixed reviews and was a commercial failure, Gaga's performance was positively received by the critics. Additionally, she produced a companion album to the film, titled Harley Quinn. Lady Gaga came back to music big time in 2024, and we are all anticipating a dominant 2025. Halsey. Halsey has been a prominent figure in pop music since her debut album Badlands in 2015. She was at her peak when her collaboration with the Chainsmokers Closer topped the Billboard Hot 100 for 12 weeks back in 2016. She has been maintaining her career since then, but after a string of disappointing albums, her career was an all-time low. In 2024, she made her comeback when she released The Great Impersonator, paying homage to the artists that influenced her. The album was an unexpected success. Even though it didn't spawn any huge hits, it did great commercially, selling 93,000 units in the first week, which is huge for 2024. The album brought her back to the pop music conversation and showed her evolution as an artist. Linkin Park. Linkin Park, the legendary rock band that rose to fame in the early 2000s, faced a significant setback with the tragic passing of Chester Bennington in 2017. But after a 7-year hiatus, the band announced their reunion in 2024, introducing new members Emily Armstrong as the lead singer and Connie Britton as a drummer. That was met with huge controversy online, but when they started releasing music, it proved to be a good move. The new album From Zero was released on November 15, 2024 and was a huge success, debuting on number 2 on the Billboard 200, selling 97,000 album equivalent units in its first week. The lead single The Emptiness Machine debuted on number 3 on the Billboard Global 200, making it the band's highest peak in the modern era. They also embarked on a tour starting in September, marking a comeback to one of the most legendary bands of all time. Which successful comebacks of 2024 did I miss? Tell me in the comments below.